Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our Big Brother Canada winner interview. My guy, Tychon, he did it.
You chose him.
Listen, this is the only show I'm good at these winner picks with. I'm terrible in all the others. I will take the Big Brother Canada badge here.
Yeah, you've gotten a lot of the winners' picks right. I think the only one I got right is John Party, but that was it. I've been wrong on everyone else. Austin was my winner pick. Did not make it through.
Yeah, I think I've had. I think I had Jillian. I think I had John. I think I had Paris. I'm very happy for Tychon. This ain't about me. This is about him and his success in the game, which
Yep.
I think he played a really, really awesome game from start to finish. I know early on it was one of those sort of things where I was like, what is Tychon doing? Is he winning enough? Is he impacted? But it's like, you gotta be the sleeping dragon sometimes early on in Big Brother.
Yeah, you have to have the right balance, especially if you go in there and you look like a bro, you're really strong, like right away people are going to target you. He did the right thing. He laid back a little bit. He had other people that were bigger targets. He had a good alliance. I mean, he played a really good game.
And can we just say here from the jump, this is one of the best Big Brother Canada seasons in a very long time.
Everybody played.
Everybody played. I think at least most of the personalities were interesting. There were only like maybe a couple not great casts. I think the majority of the cast was really, really strong.
Yeah.
I hope we have a season 10.
Oh, yeah, I hope so too. But we want to also just mention that we've moved. So
Yes.
if you guys are wondering why there is an unironed sheet behind us, we are in the process of trying to fix up this room a little bit. We're painting this weekend. It's a very weird color in here. You can see a little bit of it off
Yeah,
there.
that side, yeah.
And it's everywhere, and it is balancing all the lights in a really bad way. So we apologize for our wrinkly sheet back here, but we cannot find an iron, and I have not been able to paint yet. And this is the only way that we don't look like, Dracula came to visit us and drained all our blood.
Yeah, we don't want to be like, welcome to the Big Brother Canada interview. Like, we don't want to, I don't
Blah,
know.
blah, blah.
There you go. See, we're not vampires here to interview Tychon, so.
Yeah, and also we just wanted to say an early sort of Happy Mother's Day to everybody.
Yeah.
Matt got me this cute little mug.
Yeah.
Because my little Coco's my little sweetheart from Grounds and Hounds, which is, not sponsored or anything.
Yeah,
It's just a company that we really like. The coffee is so
Yes.
good. And every time you buy a bag of their coffee, some of the money goes to rescue dogs, which I think is kind of cool. We really appreciate those types of things. So
Yeah, it's nice to have.
Happy Mother's Day to everybody out there who's going to be celebrating this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you guys for watching both this and our videos all season. And before we get to Tychon, just hit that subscribe button because you know what's coming some point this summer, hopefully, pending some last second surprise.
Big Brother 23. And,
Yes.
And while we didn't do daily updates with Big Brother Canada, we will be back if it's coming back, which I assume it will be. Knock on wood that nothing else happens with what's been going on with the health crisis, that we are on the other side of this. We will be back doing multiple daily updates.
Yeah, so be prepared for that. And now, be prepared for Tychon. Tychon, you're here. I'm so happy. You were my winner pick before the season. I knew you could do it. The moment I was just like watching your pre-show stuff, I was like, okay, he's smart, he's athletic. I had some fears, but congratulations. This is not about me. How are you doing?
Thank you so much. Actually, you picked me. That's great. I would never thought someone picked me from the start. I appreciate it.
So how does it feel a day after winning the grand prize?
Surreal. I feel like I woke up from a dream. It doesn't feel real. Like that was a grind and a journey. And I still don't believe it's over. And I still don't believe I won. There was so much to unpack.
You're gonna need like an acclimation process. This is gonna take a little while. But with the game itself, like, were you surprised that all the vote was 6-1? I mean, it's one thing to win, but you won decisively. I mean, were there certain votes you were surprised you got?
The one I would say I was most surprised about was probably Rohan. I did not expect to get Rohan's vote just because we did not have the strongest game relationship. Nor did we have the strongest social relationship, to be honest. Like, we weren't really great friends. And game-wise, we didn't play together. So I just figured him and Braden played together. They had a good social relationship. And I thought he would have just voted for Braden's game just based on how strong they were together.
So even though you were never nominated, was there any point where you felt like your game was threatened?
Yes, when Tara won HOH, I thought, yeah, this party's over. I'm going on the block.
Yeah.
And when Braden and KIEFER advocated to not have me on the block, I was like, okay, well, I'm not going on the block. For her, I'm going on the block. And then she still didn't put me on the block. I was like, oh my gosh. But those were the 2 times I'm like, I'm going on the block for sure this week. And it just didn't happen.
Okay, well, let's get inside your head here for a minute, because the reason you didn't go on the block, like, it's, I'm sure you breathed like these huge sighs of relief after the fact, but this is, it's a testament to your game, because like almost everyone goes on the block. Like, I think we tried to look up this stat overnight. I think you and maybe Cody from Big Brother US last summer, like the only 2 people to never go on the block and also win the final 3 HOH. That is like fiercely impressive, but
yeah.
How did you do this? How did you build these relationships and make it so that people did not want you up there?
So I don't want to say it was luck, because I kind of made it seem that way a bit during Tara's HOH. The reality was, I think one very important thing for me throughout the game was to establish a relationship with everybody. I think that was really big. But then it was my alliance, which was the big reason I wasn't on the block. They were such big personalities who were so big on getting credit for moves. They just wanted all the credit. And to me, credit in Big Brother equals blame. And because they wanted all the credit, it was also easy for them to be blamed for things. And the reality was I let them drive the bus on a lot of moves where I was kind of like, well, I was just there, but I didn't really do much, so that people wouldn't blame me for things. And I also let other people know I would be open to working with them at some point. So when Tara did become HOH, we already had established a relationship where I was like, I'm open to working with you. And because she knew that, I mean, she saw value in not putting me on the block.
So when it comes to competitions, then, was it part of a plan to not win very many of them at the beginning when you didn't really have to?
So yes and no. The competitor in me, it's tough for me to go into a comp being like, I'm going to lose this.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, that's hard for me to do. Obviously, you try. Yeah. But to be real, I want to say, like, there's a few comps early on in the season where I'm like, this seemed like chance. Like,
yeah,
Dream Cruise, true or false? Like, I don't know. That seemed like chance. The seniors discount where you had to slide the disc across the board. I'm like, that's kind of chance. Like, there's a lot of chancy type of comps where I could have won just by chance, or I could have lost. In retrospect, though, there's no way I would want to win those comps. When you win HOH too early in this game, you have to get blood on your hands. The thing was, we were cornered in this game. The oddballs wanted us gone, and we needed to win HOHs. It just didn't end up being me, and it was better that way.
For sure. And one of the things that I think benefited you a lot was that you had these other targets. I mean, JEDSON and BETH, a showman. So those are always going to be like high on the target list for everybody. How important was it to just keep them in the game as long as you possibly could?
100%. Like, it was. And like, if you saw the game developing, you would have thought like BETH and I may have pursued something early on, but I was really encouraging Jed and BETH to pursue something so that they would develop into a showmance, because it seemed like it was something they both wanted, and they would protect me throughout this game. People hate a showmance no matter what they're doing. They're just irritated. And the fact that Jed and BETH had the HOH room 2 weeks back to back just irritated people. And I'm like, this is perfect. Keep them long in the game.
Yeah.
Irritate people more than I would.
Were you nervous about flipping on JEDSON the moment that you did? Yeah.
The reality was, that week, my job was to convince Tara that I'm willing to take out my own alliance. What I really was trying to do, though, was set myself up to be a decision maker, where I would be a voter in a 3-person vote to decide, does Jed stay with us or does Jed go? The reality was, once I knew Jed was going to keep himself on that block, I knew he had to go, but I still wanted time to think about it. But I always knew in the back of my mind, I'm getting rid of this guy. If we have Jed on the block on eviction day, that's the perfect time to take our shot. We may never have that chance again.
So you had the Sunsetters, you were close to them for pretty much a huge chunk of the game, but then you had Braden over here, and you sort of, we saw a lot of this, that slowly kind of having combos, building up something with it. Yeah. How are you able to sort of balance that out so that Braden didn't feel, left out with you, but still have your loyalty over with the Sunsetters?
I think, so there's a couple things to that. Like, I think both of us losing our number ones brought us close together, and me losing Jed to Beth in my mind, and Austin being evicted from the game kind of gave us something to relate to. Like, we both don't really have anybody, I guess, which wasn't really true, but that helped me build a relationship with Braden, and where we established, let's have this final two together. Also in that, we established a final four with me, Braden, Jed, and Beth. So he still felt included with some of the Sunsetters, but still we always knew that we were going to cut them and do our own thing and get to the end of the game together. So we always planned to be together, but I still included him in the larger group.
What was your defining move this season?
I mean, do you ever really have one defining move? Like, I could argue there's a few of them, but I would say the trap door was my move. As much as people want to take all the credit, Terry, she was HOH, Keep Day was his idea, Braden could say, I think I convinced Jed to use that veto. That doesn't happen without me. The reality is, I think that's the biggest move of the game. I turned on my alliance at exactly the right time. I was going to say, like, at that pivotal moment, the game changes from being alliance-based to individual or pairs. And I think I made that move at the exact right time. So I think, to me, that would be one of the largest game moves. I think winning the fake double was also bigger than people would give me credit for, because I sent out Tara, which was A, strategic because I thought she was such a great competitor, and B, to appease Jed so that he would see Tara after him. And she ends up being the one to defeat him. She beat him, but I sent her there to do that. That is a huge move in itself. Yeah. So my moves got out Jed twice. And then I win the 4 HOH, securing my spot in the final 3. And then I cut Tara at the end of the, like, to me, there was a bunch of moves which should have made it a unanimous vote, but it wasn't. And they didn't see it that way because there were some salty people, but I guess that's how the game goes sometimes.
Yeah, you still got 6 people. You pretty well for yourself, but okay, we got to go. Just a couple.
No, I know, but like I thought I may lose because people were salty.
Yeah,
so it's like I thought there was a chance to lose.
I was worried about it too for you, honestly. I was. You deserved the win. I was just nervous that the saltiness would happen. But all right, now you've done this. You've conquered this game. Do you want to ever go through this again?
To be real with you, if you're asking me right now, would I play this again? I'll tell you no.
Yeah.
That was one of the best things I've ever done in my life, but one of the hardest. It took such a toll on me emotionally, mentally, physically, all that downtime. Like, that was a lot. That was a grind. Like, I always said, no matter who wins that money, they earned it. And it happened to be me, but I don't know if I do that again. Not right now, at least.
Take a breather.
Well, congratulations again. We're really happy that you won the game. I mean, you played one heck of a good game, Tychon. It was a joy to watch you. It really was.
Thank you so much.
No worries. All right. Well, have a good rest of your crazy press day. I'm still sure you still have a lot to go. But thanks again, Tychon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys so much.